All right, guys. So let me wait for a few seconds, see if anybody else gets on. This is going to be one of the most interesting lives that you guys have seen from me all week. I'm going to do this every day, so I'll get to that in a minute. Let me make sure I got on here right. Got my. I think I'm about 20 seconds behind you guys. So I think so. Hold on. Let me double check. Make sure I got everything. So okay. All right. I will be shaved tomorrow. I will be better. I just got done with this move of mine, which I'll get to. I am, well, I might as well introduce myself first. There's going to be a few people on here that you guys have never met. Some people I haven't even ever physically met, but that are from Minnesota. They don't know what I do. This is their first time on here. So for those of you who know me, who know what I do, give them a warm welcome. If you're new on here, please introduce yourself. I won't embarrass you. Just introduce yourself so everybody can say hi to you. We're family here, and you'll understand why. Because the things that we talk about are serious. They're not a joke. So here's the deal. The last time that we talked, I had a plan. Sometimes plans get blown up. This plan got blown up 3 times. Really. But my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Noir Apologia Gaming. And what we do here is listen to you talk. But this week, I want you guys to listen to me talk. I want you guys to listen to what I have to say, because the things that I have been through since the last time we talked, you're not even going to believe. Okay? So the last time we talked, I talked about going to Maggie's, my friends, in Wisconsin. That was the plan. That plan got immediately blown up with a broken arm. That's right, got a fractured arm. It's not completely broken, otherwise I would be in a cast. Less than 24 hours when I arrived here, my knee came out of place, and literally, if you guys can see my knee, I don't know if you guys can see my knee, but it was pointing upwards. My kneecap was pointing upwards, and I had to be rushed to the emergency room. Come to find out, I had I fractured my arm when I fell. Maggie was there. She could verify that. So that's how I started this whole thing. And I was planning on staying in Wisconsin, but I realized that Maggie wasn't going to be, I was useless. I wasn't going to be able to work like that. I was in so much pain. Wisconsin does not have kratom legal in Wisconsin. Minnesota does. There's all sorts of reasons why I made the decision. Now, you guys are going to think I'm crazy. And to be honest with you, maybe I am. But I also know what I'm doing. I know what I can handle. Okay? But in this case, there was one thing I didn't count on. And that's how bad my mobility really is. I know that I have leg issues and stuff, but I had no idea how bad this was going to get. And I could not know. That's why one of the reasons why I teach critical thinking. When you get in a situation, do you run or do you fight? That is so vital to everything that I teach. Everything I'm trying to show you guys. Not just talk about with my mouth. So what happened was, about a little over a week later, I talked to Sophia on the phone, and she didn't like the decision I had come to, but she understood why. I had Maggie drive me to Somerset, Wisconsin, where then I took an Uber to Minneapolis, and I slept outside for the first time in 20 years. And it's not like sleeping out on the patio. And for those of you who don't know my background, in other words, for new people who haven't heard this story, for those of you who do know this story, you guys will understand what devastation this was to my mind to see this again. I was literally walking around Minneapolis in the same areas that I used to walk around when I was homeless. You talk about being reminded of who you are. Well, I'll tell you, I was reminded about who I am not. because I'm not those people anymore. As they say, it's not the game. Excuse me. It's like, don't hate the player, hate the game. In this case, it's true. It hasn't changed. The game hasn't changed downtown. Now it's gotten harder in this sense. So, less than 4 days after I got there, as you guys have noticed, I'm not on my big camera. I have my other Canon, my older Canon, but I no longer have my new Canon because I had my bag stolen. You say, Daryl, how could you let something like that happen? By the time it happened, I was so exhausted. I was falling asleep randomly. Okay, one, because of the medicines I'm on, but two, because I was exhausted. I was mentally exhausted. I was physically exhausted from just walking just from place to place. And someone, this is new to me. This wasn't around when I was homeless. Someone on their bike, you can see in Minneapolis, you can rent bikes. You can rent all these different things to get around town. You can just pick them up and go, as long as you pay for them. But gee, how many people do you think actually pay for them? How many people on the streets do you think pay for those? No, they steal them. They know it. The city knows it. Someone on a bike rode by and took my bag. My bag was heavy. I hate to say this, but that person earned it. Why? Because I didn't think that anybody could take that bag. So my camera's gone. I have to replace that. Some things have already been replaced, but thank God I didn't have everything. I didn't have my laptop. I have my laptop right here. So it's not a total loss. It just that big camera, it's going to be at least a month before I can get it again. But the whole idea was I was trying to get Sophia to save money because she was finished. She was already done by the time I got there. Now, it's up to her to comment on this, but Minnesota's not the place for us. It's not. It has nothing to do with Minnesota. I love Minnesota's beauty. I do, and I think the people are wonderful. It's what they believe in and how much they hate. If anybody knew what I believed in, how long you think I would have lasted? Not long. The truth is, they don't like what I believe in, and I won't shut my mouth. I am a Christian. I believe in God. Okay, and so forth and so on. They don't like that. Okay, but Sophia is really done. Okay, I'm not going to get into the exact details of it because it's her story to tell, not mine. She made a very big mistake by going to Minnesota. Very big mistake. Well, she saved my life all those years ago. What kind of human being would abandon her and say, I'm going to stay in Texas? I knew I couldn't. So it's a mutual thing here. I know physically that until I get my stuff fixed, there's no way I could ever be homeless. There's no way I could ever be in that situation because I would die. I really would. I mean, heck, do you know for a broken arm, they didn't even give me. I had to go in about a week after I arrived in Minneapolis because my arm was hurting so bad. And by the way, with my arm, I remember I hurt my knee first, and then as I was falling, I broke my arm. So my knee was hurting. So I went in. Do you know, they didn't even give me painkillers. They didn't give me any painkillers, not tramadol, nothing. That's what they believe in here in Minnesota. Physical therapy. You know what, man? Right now, I can't do physical therapy. And by the way, I just wanted the pain to go away. Okay? I didn't need that. I have every intention about getting physical therapy once everything's fixed. But anyway, so now I have a problem because now I'm not saving. Because Sophia's having to get these hotels now. The entire point was I was going to be saving instead of staying at Maggie's and giving Maggie that money. I was going to be trying to save money, but I was going to sacrifice to save money by staying on the streets just for a little bit until Sophia found a place. No, couldn't do that. It was clear I was not going to be able to do that plan. And trust me, I tried. I kept going back out there. But in the end, Sophia started looking for a place in earnest. So now I'm in the new place right now. Now over this next week, I'm going to be getting into detail on certain things that I saw. Things that I've talked about with you guys. Things that have not changed. And why certain solutions that people talk about that are solutions to certain issues like homelessness and stuff are not. Because nothing's changed. Nothing. Not from 20 years ago. Nothing has changed. You don't think Minnesota or Minneapolis throws money at the homeless issue? They sure as hell do. Where's it go? I'd like to know where it goes, because one guy I talked to, I did have one shining example of a homeless person that reminded me a lot of Dwan. No, it wasn't, because Dwan has passed. And by the way, for those of you who don't know who are new on here, my business partner passed in September. This is where I met him, in Minneapolis. So I have lived in Minneapolis. I've lived in Minnesota. I've survived in Minnesota, being homeless, excuse me. Okay? And that's where I met Dwan all those years ago. But I'll tell you, I had a lot of time to think about what I'm going to be doing for the future for this. That's the other part. When I was sitting there in Texas, I couldn't move, let alone work. And it had nothing to do with physical ability. I was straight, I don't know how to explain it. Dwan's death affected me much worse than I have ever been affected by anything in my whole life. I don't think that I would have continued had I stayed in Texas. Now, am I planning on staying in Minnesota forever? I just told you no. We have a plan for that. We're going to move somewhere else. But that won't be for a few years. We have to stay here for a few years. That's Sophia's mistake, because she works for the VA. But we're not staying in Minnesota. I don't know where we're going to go. Maybe South Dakota or something. Somewhere where they have our same belief systems, for one thing. But for number two, we really can't. There is one thing about Texas. We realize we can't handle the heat. It's over for me on that. As much as I would love to be able to. I love Texas. Texas is my home. I will never not be a Texan. I don't care where I live. However, I have to admit the truth. Here's the problem with people. They don't want to admit they were wrong. They don't want to admit that they can't do something. It's okay to admit you were wrong. It's okay to admit you can't do something. You have to figure out a way to, one, get through it. The entire point of, and for people who don't know this either, and this is going to be old hat for people that have come onto my lives before and have watched my videos before. I teach that everyone that wants to become successful carries 5 ingredients. I'm talking about, if you go throughout history to the greatest men that have ever lived, the greatest women that have ever lived, every successful human being in the history of ever, okay, has carried 5 ingredients. And those 5 ingredients are want to, venting, taking advice, no distractions, and knowing you're not alone. Basically, it's like this. You have to want to change. You have to want to be successful. Heck, you have to want to go walk down the street to go get a pack of cigarettes. Venting. If you don't get the stuff off of your head, the crap like, I want to kill my boss, off your head, you may go kill your boss. Okay? You have to get that dumb stuff off your head. And you have to talk to somebody that you can trust that isn't going to call the cops every time you just speak it. Just because you say something doesn't mean you're going to do it. You're actually trying to help yourself. It's like a volcano. It's like when I talk about a volcano. A volcano has vents. You have the main shaft and then you have vents venting out. Otherwise it would explode. That's why volcano vents that don't vent properly, they explode. Okay? You don't want to explode on somebody. Now, you also need to take advice. So the whole point of venting is so that you can do the next ingredient. So you vent so that you can listen, so that you're able to listen to advice. You cannot take advice if there's a bunch of stuff talking in your head like, I want to kill my boss, I want to hurt my wife, I'm gonna do worse, I want to cheat on my wife or my husband. Talk it out. Get that stuff off your head, and then we can discuss those sorts of things. That's called counseling 101. Am I a counselor? Nope. But I have bipolar disorder and PTSD. And this is how I changed my life. For those of you who don't know that yet, the person that Sophia met 20 years ago is not the person. And boy, you want to talk about being reminded of that? Sitting in the same spots and walking down the same streets as I used to walk. I see things from a completely different way than I used to. Right? And then that goes to the fourth ingredient. You have to be able to go by yourself. Now you can have music in your ears. When I mean no distractions, I mean no little birdies chirping in your ear trying to guide your decision making. You need to be able to make those decisions without distraction. And the last one is something that is so vital. I realize even now that even I sometimes get arrogant and think, oh, I can do this by myself. Not right now, I can't. Not with my physical problems. And I have to admit, I need somebody to help me do simple tasks now. Knowing you're not alone, the fifth ingredient. Do you know how comforting it is to know that if something ever happens to me, that I have someone like Sophia or Tanya or Lori? Do you know how comforting that is just to know that thought? And also, in spirit, my mother has passed away. Dwan has passed away now. To know that even though they are passed away physically, they are here with me in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit, in my actions. To know that. That Dwan sometimes is the only thing that gets me through the day. And I'll look at a picture of his and I'll say, I'm trying, brother. And that's all I can say because he's not here to talk to. And the fifth steps, let me apply this to the situation here. Cleaning your house. Had I not cleaned my house, I would not have gotten through this situation. Because you want to talk about being reminded of a loser in reality back in the day. A person who didn't want to try anymore, who wanted to, in many ways, die. Not in many ways, I did want to die. When I first met Sophia 20 years ago, or 19 years ago, however long it was. Coming on 19 years, I've known Sophia. You can't buy Sophia's friendship. She's done more for me than, that's why it didn't bother me to have to suffer a little bit. So Sophia, because Sophia, she'll never admit this to you guys. Sophia was not okay when I first got here. She was stressed out beyond belief. I'm not going to get into why, but she was. So I was there for her just like she was there for me. And more than that, she's there for me physically now. So it's people like that in your life that's going to help you through things. That's why I did it by myself. No, you didn't. There is not a single human being on this planet that did anything of what you would consider successful that they didn't have at least somebody helping them along the way. You might have forgotten that person's name. That's on you. I don't care who you are. You have to have people around you that you know have your back. You know, right? So I kept having to get these hotel rooms and all this money, and it was bad. But I kept doing it, and the ironic thing is that the train goes all the way down by her work to her work. So I got to see her every day while I was down there. So once that was happening, it was a little bit better. But still, she didn't want me sleeping out on the streets. Just so you know, I never asked her, I think except for one time, I never actually asked her to get me a room. She would just do it. She couldn't stand seeing it because she knew I was suffering. That's not being someone's caretaker. That's being someone's friend. Why would you allow a friend to suffer when you know you might can do something? I'm not saying go so far beyond your means you can't afford your own place. But I'm saying if you can help like that, why would you not do that for someone you love? I love my people. I love my friends. What Sophia's done for me in my life is just amazing. What she continues to do for me. So I have no problem suffering and going through something for her. So it never bothered me, but she would do that. But it was getting expensive. So we had to hurry up. So then I kind of got off the streets. I got off the streets like that. And I started staying in a hotel room. But within a couple weeks, she had to go down to Texas, and she had to go pick up the last of our stuff, and the stuff from my office and everything else, and then all the rest is history. And then she ended up getting this place. This place is pretty cool. Y'all see the new office? Now it's going to get even better. But I have some grand plans for this place. See, again, I've never had a problem with Minnesota. Minnesota's beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful things here. I'm dead serious. The air is fresh here. Now, I would say, except for in the last couple months, because I guess there's been a fire in Canada that's been blowing smoke down here. That's why you've been seeing the cool pictures of the red moon and stuff like that, the red sun that I've been putting up on Facebook and stuff. But I assure you, what's funny is, the second I arrived in Minnesota, all of my mind started to go again. It wasn't stuck anymore. That's when I realized that's it. That was the first time when I first visited in May. When that happened, and then I thought I could go back to Texas and things would be fine. Things weren't going to be fine because I was stuck. Just knowing that I just was still grieving. Now, I'm still not over Dewan's death, but I can move on now. I can at least move on now and start planning different things. And there are different cool ideas I came up with when I was out there, I was doing this, I was thinking about this business. How can I use this situation? How can I do something different for you guys to show what I'm trying to tell you? Okay? Because the steps, for example, I talked about the ingredients. For those people who don't know, there's also 5 steps. Clean your house, fill your house, do something inside your box, do something outside your box, and look back and say, what's next? If you don't clean your house, you're not going to be able to get through the next moment because you're going to still be reminded of those things. It's really the kind of the process of mourning in many ways. Okay? So the idea of clean your house, you have to take care of your past. You have to fill your house. You have to fill your house with good things. So your house will be empty. You fill your house with good things. And then you start moving on by doing things inside your box. The things that you know you're good at. Continue to do those things. Get better, become an expert. Then it's going to make that want to really grow. And you're going to want to do things outside your box, things that are scary that you've never done. Maybe you can apply your talents to something you never thought you could, right? And the last one is just basically you're looking on what the process you've gone through, all this process you've gone through, and you're looking at the next mountain and saying, what's next? That's how you become successful. That's why I haven't quit. Oh, trust me, it's run past my mind so many times. What's the point, Daryl? Why are you doing this? Nobody cares. God, I've went through the whole gauntlet of different things. But why don't I quit? One, because I made a promise to you guys that I would continue on to the day I die. I don't know if you guys notice I'm still alive, even though my body feels like it's dead sometimes. I've got a lot of fixing to do on my body, but anyway. But that's one thing. But it's one thing to make a promise, but then to actually fulfill it. Because I think there is a unique thing here. See, I'm in a whole different spot. I can go to different places. I can go to places like Maggie goes up to Lake Superior. I can go with her, and I can go get B-roll, and y'all can see beautiful things there. Wisconsin is so rural, and that's where I live. That's where I was raised from the age of 6 years old to 17. And I can take pictures with Maggie. Maggie has already said that all I have to do is just let her know a heads up and see if she has time free. She'll come pick me up for a weekend, and I'll sleep over there, and we can drive around and take pictures of whatever I want to take pictures of within reason. But I have people over there still. I mean, I have friends over there that live out in the country and things like that. And it is country, where there's a lot of deer, stuff like that. In fact, I don't know if you guys saw my pictures I sent to some of my friends with a deer that was right here. I mean, it's different than Texas. It's a lot different. And for those who are in Texas who've never seen Minnesota or have never seen Wisconsin, this is going to be fascinating for you. Because it's beautiful here. It's great. I hope Tanya comes and visits me. I hope my friends come and visit me. Because it's a beautiful place. But I'm going to continue doing what I do here. And one of the ideas that I've come up with is I want to go to downtown Minneapolis and start really filming and talking to homeless people. Now I have to be very careful because some people don't want it. But at the very least, try to get an interview with somebody and talk to them. So you guys can see from another perspective what it's like. People that are mentally ill. People that have bipolar disorder. So it's not just from Daryl's mouth. And I'm going to take my camera out and get an interview. And I'm going to show you guys some interesting things like what is nightlife like for a homeless person? What is it like? Because a lot of people are on drugs. A lot of homeless people do what I did. I turned to alcohol back in the day. I still haven't drank, y'all. I have not turned to drink at all. I have not went down that path. I'm so proud of myself. It was Dwan's birthday last week, and y'all know that was hard for me. And at the end of this month will be the 1-year anniversary of his death, and that will be also hard for me. But I haven't went to that route. I haven't went to the negative route like that. I am damn proud of that, even if nobody else is. I am proud of that I have not went down that route. So these are all just to show you how different I used to be. That's the first place I would have went to. After something terrible like that happened, I would have went to drink. A lot of people go to that. They go to drugs, they go to alcohol, so forth and so on. So this week, what we're going to go do is we're going to dive into some things I saw. I'm not going to discuss them tonight. Just a teaser. But I wanted to let you know what I've been through and where I'm at now. So I'm in Eagan, Minnesota. I like this place. I like this place we have. It's pretty good. We got a garage, an actual garage where we go into. So even in the wintertime, it'll be nice and safe, and it'll be protected. The car. Remember, Sophia's got a car now. So, but I in everything, there's everything around here for me to within walking distance, so that I can put on my braces and I can walk to wherever I need to do. But I want to thank all my friends. You know, Tanya helped me a lot too. Tanya helped me quite a bit. And I appreciate my friends, not just physically, but spiritually being there for me, physically being there for me during this time of transition, where I'm transitioning between one state to another state, and I'm having to transition my business and everything else since Dwan's passing. I thank all of you for that. But it's time to go forward. It's time to go forward now, y'all. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to continue to discuss the subjects, but it's going to be different. You're going to see I have some really interesting ideas. I'm going to go downtown with my camera. As soon as I'm able to get the right amount of subscribers, I'll be able to do a live downtown. But until then, I will be just recording videos and posting them up from downtown, and I'll post them. I will post them up later. But I'll still be able to do. I'll be able to do Facebook Live and things like that. Wherever you guys know, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you know that I've been doing Facebook Lives from everywhere, including Caribou Coffee the other day, not far from here. So I just want to thank you guys for everything you guys have done for me, being there for me. So now it's my turn to return the favor by continuing on doing what I'm doing. For those that are new, keep watching. Watch my videos. You kind of get an understanding of what I'm trying to do. And who knows, maybe throw out an idea. Leave comments below if you've got an idea for me to help me get my message across, which is basically to make people better through my ingredients and through my steps. And if you go through my ingredients and my steps and you watch those videos and you think about how it's applied, think about different ways you can apply it, and maybe you can give me an idea. I'm always open to that. So, that being said, I'm going to be heading to bed. I love you guys. Be safe when you're traveling. Be safe when you get there. Be aware of your surroundings. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. Not everybody can get off the mat without a hand up. Expecting someone just to get off the mat without a little bit of help, not everybody can do that. Some people need a hand up, not a handout now. The person has to be trying to do things for themselves. But if you see they're trying to do things for themselves, give them a hand up. The understanding of yourself also, though, that you can't overextend yourself. If you don't have the money to help someone with money, don't give them money. Maybe there's another way you can help. Or maybe just a simple matter of just how to act like they're a human being and talk to them, right? Especially for those who have mental illness. Man, I'll tell you all the times that I just wanted someone to say hi to me, right? I just wanted someone to talk to. I didn't need food. Food was the least thing that I needed. It was companionship, that kind of thing. Remember, life is fleeting. If Dwan's passing did not teach y'all anything, life is fleeting. You can have all the plans you want to have, but you're not promised your next breath. So take now to go outside your box, learn something new, and you never know what you may find. Right? You never know what you may learn about yourself. And until tomorrow, may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.